All right, so we are live again, and we are so sorry for that technical glitch. For some reasons, we went off air, and so we're just starting again. So I just like to say again to everyone, Happy New Year to every one of you that has been with us throughout the past year, and then we're thanking you for being with us again this year. I mean, we couldn't have achieved what we did last year without you. Our goal this year is to ensure that we bring you content that we educate, that we inspire, and motivate, and also entertain you. So, without much ado, I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Femi. I'm an engineer. I worked in the oil and gas industry for about 30 years, and I'm a successful digital business owner. I live in Canada, Ontario, and today with me I have Natasha. I have Natasha. Where are you? Okay. Then I have Araneth, and I also have Fredos. I haven't said that. I'm going to leave them to introduce themselves more, one after the other, and then we get the ball rolling. Thank you all.
Hi guys, I'm Natasha. I'm originally from the Netherlands and I live in Spain. I'm a former medical interpreter and receptionist. I have two preteens and I am a full-time online digital business owner.
Hello everyone, Arnett here. I am a mom of two, a bank manager by profession, and also a successful digital business mentor.
Hi everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Hi everyone. I'm Ferdoz. I live in the UK and professionally I'm a medical doctor and I'm doing digital business as a part-time basis at the moment.
All right. So today we are talking about the social media. What is social media? What is it to us? Are there pros? Are there cons? What was social media originated to do from the beginning? And is it doing exactly what it was intended for? So those are the things we're going to be discussing today, and also its effect on people or impact on our lives and our businesses. So I'd like to start by saying that if you are watching us, please feel free to indicate where you're watching us from in the comment section. And I would like to know where you are watching us from. And like we always say, our programs are always intended to be interactive. So if you have any suggestions or you have any input, or if there's something that you think that we're not saying right, please feel free to put a comment. I would like to learn from you and would like to rub minds with you as well. Having said that, I'd like to once again say to apologize for the glitch that we had earlier on. So, what is social media? Anyone want to have a go at it? What is social media? Araneth?
Hi.
Nobody wanted to talk, so I had to call somebody to talk.
Social media for me is just the they call it as the most powerful tool that you can use to share your awareness, your brand's messaging to people, and that's the fastest technology that people can use to advertise their own businesses and to communicate people around the world, and and FaceTime with their families. That's what social media for me. Yeah.
For me, social media is all about connecting with people and building trust. And also, of course, now, since I've been doing this, because for me, social media was just to connect with my friends and families that live abroad. And now I use it also to promote and share my business.
Yeah, for me, social media obviously is very powerful means to bring all family, friends, and all people all over the world in one platform. So I think it's a connecting tools to connect with friends, family, as I said, and also it is the tool and is the power. It gives us the power to share our experience, share our feelings, share our lifestyle, and I think it's everything.
Yeah.
All right. So before I go ahead, let me just say a big thank you to Rosemary from Spain, uh, Sunday Lamwanka from New York, and
Hi, Sunday.
Groot from Netherlands. And thank you very much. Always great to see you too, Anastasia. All right. So now, social media, like you all said, it means of connecting with families. But when social media started, I can't tell you that I know exactly what year it started, but I know it was just about a decade plus. I don't think it's up to 20 years. No.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I mean, like it was sometime mid 2000s or late 2000s. Because I remember the first time I
Yeah.
joined Facebook was 2010. And
Yeah, me
honestly,
too.
I was so excited because I was able to come to get in touch with my high school classmates and some of my university graduates, classmates that I hadn't seen for like 20 years then. And it was so exciting. But I soon fell off the wagon. I don't know if that's the right word to use. I mean, I soon fell off the Facebook because it was now becoming so overwhelming for me. I didn't think I
Mhm.
could keep up. And then I thought it wasn't secure. So I just ran out from it. And I never came back until I started this business. So yeah, social media originally was a way to interact with friends and families, but over the years, because of its ability to connect people and for people to share their ideas and to share their content, not only within their family members,
Mhm.
but even within extended families and friends, it became a tool in the business world. Because, social media now made it very easy for people to be able to now stay, like in Canada, and do business with somebody in Spain, for instance. Natasha is my business partner. Aranet is in the US. I'm in Canada. Fedos is in the UK, and the list goes on. So, yes, we would say that there's been quite a lot of positive things attributed with social media. Is there anything negative that you want to say about social media?
I think this the spammers. There are so many people that I don't know what they call them, but they put viruses in your accounts and things. You have to be so careful with the links you open. So if somebody sends you a personal link without a message, I never open them. So if there's not a message attached to a link, and I don't know, and I know this person, then I think, oh, that's strange. I know this person, but she's sending me a link and not saying anything. So you have to be careful with those because they can hack your account. That's the only thing I've experienced really on social media. Um, the cons.
Can I get somebody to say something negative about social media? Negative experience. It may not be you, but what you anticipate that may happen to people that may be negative.
I think there's a lot of a few other cons of everything has some advantage as well. So social media, obviously, you can see that I think one of the things is fake news. We have seen,
And you just took that from my mouth. I was going to say that.
you know, yeah, we've seen quite obviously we have been witnessing since the pandemic began, fake news about COVID vaccine, and obviously the American elections, and everywhere you can see the fake news, how it can influence the whole system. So I think then this is probably the one of the things that we need to be aware of. And another disadvantage, I would say, cyberbullying, and that's probably one thing quite high at the moment about this, especially young generations, teenagers. They are really badly affected by this. So I think this is the thing we need to be careful. And obviously, as a parents, as a parents, we need to be aware of this, and then we can teach our children how to use social media very safely and appropriately.
Aranet?
Okay, so social media. This is the beauty of having a social media account, because
No, we're looking at the negative side of social
yeah,
media.
the negative side. But on the on social media, there are some limited things that you need to do. You can set up your private setting, to avoid all those hackers coming into your page. And then it has everything in there. But once you study all the pros and cons having a social media account, number one is just like people tend to probably take your pictures, and use that as theirs. And then that happens to one of my friend, that they took a picture. But that's the reason why there is a settings or privacy settings over there, that you can limit yourself for people who wanted to view your pictures, view your profiles as well. So it's all up to us to really determine what not, and what to really include on the settings of your profile, of your settings on your profile media account. Yeah.
For us,
Yeah,
that's a bit difficult because we're public figures.
I know.
exactly. And I was going to say that, I mean, like, what limit can you put? Because you run adverts on social media, you throw your picture there to the public and your videos. So if somebody wants to take it, they can always have it.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
so you have no control over that.
true.
You sure have no control over that.
We have a
Okay.
limited.
Yeah.
One thing I just need to add about this, obviously, in social platform, we also see smiley face and happiness, happy sort of things. Obviously, I think no one put the social media like, sad things, and on the other side of the life, always you can see the happy face and holidays, and we are going different
Yeah.
happy moments. And that probably creates some negative impression to other people's, and they want to do the same things, and it's type of pressure they have got this there in their own life and family and friends, and he's doing this, he's having a lavish life, I want to do this as well. And this type of negative competition probably it can create.
Yeah. But
True.
like, you see that is something that happens to us naturally as human beings,
Yeah.
whether it's on social media or otherwise. There's some people that want to flaunt their wealth. There's some people that want to appear to be wealthy, even
Yeah,
when
true.
even when they're struggling to have the
Yeah.
next meal.
Yeah.
And of course, there's some people that will see a guy that is struggling and thinks that the guy is doing very well and he wants to be like him as well. So, like, like, social media is just an expression of the society that we live in today. But it's just because it's something that goes out so fast because of the technology behind it, and so wide because of how far it can spread. It gains traction very fast, and easily people are influenced. So you talked about uh, bullying and all that, which is something that is experienced. Has anybody ever talked about time waste
Oh yes.
on social media? Some people stay on social media for 3 hours, you know, and they don't just know or recognize how fast time is spent. That was one of the reasons why I closed my Facebook account after 6 months of opening it in 2010. Because I just suddenly found out that, I was just getting sucked into this thing. And I mean, like, and for me, there was no benefit to it, other than seeing friends, which I liked the fact that I could see friends, I could reach out to people. But then when I was looking at the impact on my life and my time, I had to weigh my pros and cons, and the easiest way I could then was just to sever my relationship from Facebook and just run away, you know. But okay, so I mean, like, so much about the negativities of social media, so much about, because whether we like it or not, there will be not just spammers, there will be scammers.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there will be scammers. There will be people that are waiting just to see you make a mistake so they can take advantage of you. There will be people that may want to use other people's, that may want to impersonate other people if they have your picture. And like Aranet said, that's why you have to be careful what you post. Sometimes, right, having your family show, kind of like authenticates, who you are and how level of responsibility that you may have. But at the same time, exposure. I mean, some people put their birthdays and they make it public, and we know, like in the Western world, for instance, somebody asks your birthday, you may be able to answer one or two questions, right? When like some of those security checks that you may have, because banks want to check to be sure who you are. When you call them, the first thing they ask you, some of them may ask you, okay, what month were you born? Or what date, and then
I
so
agree.
like, if somebody wants to, if somebody wants to hack your account or take advantage of your identity, it may take the person 5 years to do it, but all that he just needs to do is to be patient, to gather as much information about you, from you, as as often as he or she can, because remember, all these people that are evil, time is nothing to them. They take their time. They're not in a hurry, but then sometimes we get caught up with all those things and make such mistakes and leave ourselves to be vulnerable, so, but having said all of that, there are over 3.5, about almost 4 billion people in the world using using social media. And like we said, the intention of social media was strictly for people to reconnect, to be able to reach out to one another. But the business industry has seen, or the business community has seen how easily you can reach out with people with products as well. How easily you can show what you're able to do, your creativity, creating content. Some people make blogs, they do all sort of things, and they live off from it, So some people are making a ton of revenue just by showing videos of themselves every day and their families, how they live their lives and all that. So would you say, or would you not agree with me that there's some other positive aspect of the social media?
Absolutely. I agree. What was I going to say?
And you also know,
using social media in a positive way, share information, give value to people out there. We all look up information on the internet, and make it worthy what you post, and educate people, or even entertain people, but don't sound needy or spammy. You know what I mean?
but
So many people out there that sounds so needy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but on a daily basis, I don't know how many messages I get on a daily basis from traders. I have nothing against them, but it is so annoying. They, if they're so interested, they see your profile, they see what you do, and still they keep messaging you with, oh yes, I can make you $10,000 a day, and this and that, and it's that sounds needy to me.
Yeah, but I think you should be careful with anybody on social media that tells you can make $10,000 a day.
Because people,
I'm like, not that.
They fall for it. It's like all these diet products that are out there. How many diet pills you can buy on the internet? They make products or coffee that they squish in lemon. I mean, I can see them and I think, really, do people believe this stuff? And people do. And people spend a lot of money on that. Well, that's actually one of the negative parts of social media, not nothing positive. So yeah, that's a negative part, using advantage of people's pain points. So I think that's pretty sad. You need to offer something to people that they can use to their advantage in the long run.
Yeah. Femi, you are muted. You are muted. Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that. So one of those things I was going to say, that if somebody comes to social media, even somebody comes to you and say, hey, you know what, I can make $10,000 a month. Is it impossible or not? It's possible. A lot of people make that. A lot of people make much more than that in various endeavors of life. But for people to come out and start throwing figures at you, I mean, you have to run for your life because
I just know who they are from the beginning, because they all start this, they all start the conversation the same way. It's
Yeah.
it's like they've been taught, oh, this is how you start a conversation. They're all the same. All the conversations are the same.
yes,
Yeah.
because they know that there's some people that are always uh, that there's some people that are looking for looking for free lunch out there. You know, there's some people that want to start a business and make it the same
Yeah.
day they start the business. You know, there are always people that dream, but they don't act on their dreams. And so those people always fall victims of such
Yeah.
people. You see, like you never can stop such things, you know.
Mm.
But like we have
True.
said, that tons of opportunities on social media. And when you look at those opportunities, when you look at the benefits of social media, it outweighs the negativities. You know, hey, people have different beliefs. You know, I mean, like some people, I mean, people have different beliefs and people like different things. And you can't say because somebody believes something or he likes something, you know, it doesn't exist. No, you can't say that. So it ends up with you being able to know what you want and do due diligence,
Exactly.
you know, in order for you to be able to accept something. I mean, I'll give you a typical example of how I've benefited from social media. Um, I never used to cook, but I've fallen in love with cooking now. And at times I just achieve some things for my family or my wife, and I just go to YouTube, you know, tons of videos on how to make maybe a Nigerian delicacy, you know, tons of videos on DIY, you know, positive things, you know. So yeah, having said this, you recognize that there are always benefits to this. And one thing that I've always learned is if you um, if you give people content that can educate them, you can't be poor because meeting people's needs is essential. If you meet their needs, they will come again and they will come again and they will come again. And however that affects your business, whether you're a content creator or you're a businessman advertising on Facebook or YouTube, whatever, you know, you will keep people coming again, and that's how you make some returns. So people must be able to differentiate themselves, you know, when they come to the platform, you know.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I have to say concerning that.
No, I just wanted to add one thing. Obviously, we are really grateful about using the social media. We are leveraging social media, and we will generate passive income by using social media. So, obviously, there's all yeah, there's lots of benefits of using social media if you use it sensibly and appropriately. As Femi said, people using social media average 142 minutes a day. Average user use social media or Facebook just browsing. So I think that that's the idea. I joined this business because I thought I'm using social media anyway. Why not I using this time to generate passive income by using the social media? So there's many benefits of using social media and social platform. And as Femi said as well, all businesses are using social media. More than 99% business in the world, they're using social media platform to generate their leads, to publicize their business. So why not we are using this media as our profession, like Natasha is doing full time this using social media and generate income. Why not other people who are watching or will be watching this program? Why not you think about to use this means to you generate income?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay, like I said earlier on, some people spend 3 hours, you know, just checking other people's contents. And these days that you have what do you call it? You have Instagram, you know, there are lots of skits, you know, there are different types of things, you know, depending on whatever you want to see or watch. So you can, I mean, like, you probably will know. The other day, you know, I was on YouTube. I was trying to look for a channel to use for my advert. And then, so I was sizing up the channel to see people's responses and all that. And I saw myself watch somebody's channel. I saw one video after the other. They were like 6 minutes videos each. But before I knew it, I'd spent about 40 minutes on that person's channel. But I controlled myself because I knew I was doing my business. Right? Some other people, spend that time. What would you want to say to people that just spend time checking other people's contents? Not that it's bad to check other people's contents, spending hours and hours on social media, and not getting anything back from it. Aranith, what do you want to say about that? Because at the same time that people spend on social media just to watch content today, tomorrow, the same thing, that same time, people are spending that same time, and they are making revenues.
And I am one of them. I like to, one of my hobbies to be on social media all the time, because that's the only way that I can connect with with the minds of other people, if that resonates their stories to mine. And I'm kind of like really curious what they want to say more, because I am learning from them, even though I don't know these people, but they are willing to share their content to anyone, and then I'm really learning from it. That's the beauty of being of using this social media. If you really use this as your advantage and make profit out of it, then use the time. You're just sitting down scrolling and watching someone's being successful, and why don't you use that time to be profitable, right? So if there is an ad that is passing by on your wall, just click on it, because you don't know that this might be the one that you have been waiting for a long time. So for me, I embrace possibilities that is coming or dropping on my wall on social media, because this might be the sign that I have been waiting for, but you are just ignoring it, right? And that's exactly what that happens to me like 2 years ago. Like I am not that social media person, but when I found this business, that become my habit, because I make money out of it. So, and that's why we are here. We're sharing the blessings, because I believe there's a billion people on social media right now using every single day.
About 4.9 billion.
4.9 billion, yeah. And then
social media. And just in the US alone, by 2023, they expect to have about 100 million people more. If I'm not mistaken my statistics, right? So
right.
It keeps growing, right?
In the world, nearly 8 billion people, isn't it? In the world, and then more than 50% people using social platform. It's amazing. So obviously, as Arnath said, that this is the thing. So obviously, I came to this business by similar way. I was scrolling my Facebook, and then this ad popped up, and then obviously I clicked it, and obviously, if I didn't click it, I probably missed that opportunity. So obviously, it's a different thing. Some people you see if you go out and in the restaurant or in the park, everybody doing their Facebook is scrolling and sitting together, but everybody in their mobile phone. Obviously, this is the things. Obviously, the wasting time to see some other people's success. If you want to do something and you want to change your position wherever you are, you need to take an action. And then obviously the online platform is the way to go ahead. And this is the only platform you can shine and you can earn your earnings.
Absolutely,
okay. Yeah. Before I go, let me just say a big hello to Marichal. Thank you for joining us. There's some people, when we started, we talked about the negativities, about the negative things about social media, exposure. You understand, vulnerability. We talk about scammers and spams. There's some people that because of all of this, they have just taken their mind off from social media. That okay, they don't mind going there to get content or just to check what's happening. There's a channel for Nigerian news. It's called Channels TV. I go there from time to time. to get content, to know what's happening back home and all that, So there are a lot of people like that. But if they see anything like an ad popping up, either on YouTube or Facebook, they're just like, okay, these scammers have come again. So they see everyone that is on social media
true.
advertising something or the other as a scammer, as somebody that wants to take something from them. Natasha, what do you want to say to people like that?
It's some people, if you see ads on your Facebook feed or anywhere else, sometimes we just sometimes we can control the time. We can control where our ad is going to show up. We do put in our targets and the people we want your ad to be shown to, but that's not always the case. Facebook has a way of working around it. I don't understand how it completely works 100%. But yes, our ads get shown to people that don't want to see your ad, and then they comment or they don't. And I have many ads on my Facebook, and I'm not interested in neither one. But I just keep scrolling. But there are people that stop and are nasty. So sometimes we just can't control where our ads get shown. So
yeah, and like I said, the fact that there are so much negativities in the social media,
that's sad, because that affects other online businesses that really do work.
I mean that does not mean that there are no other things that are positive. It's just like saying, okay, people say a lot of things about different parts of the world. There's no nation that does not have a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge of leadership, it could be a challenge of gun violence, it could be all sorts of challenges.
Yeah.
And it would be wrong to say, because these people have this challenge, so I'm not good. Okay, I'm going to stop living because I'm going to stop living because these people are not human beings. These people are not. It's the same thing, right? Because like on Facebook, on social media, it's just like you are living, but in the virtual space, it's not a physical space. So almost the same thing that you see people do if they have the opportunity to do physically is what they're doing, virtually. Like I said earlier on, the social media has just magnified who we are. It has just magnified who we are, and magnified in the sense that if I was in my house here and I was being stupid or being good, only the people around me will know. But if I came on social media and I became nasty or good, now step out of my boundary, it's come to the whole world. So, I mean, it was only one person or two that knew whether I was good or I was being nasty in my house before, but now the whole world has known about it. So that's how it's magnified, and then it goes viral. So the fact that happens doesn't mean that, people will stop living. So the fact that some people are doing dirty things or doing bad things on social media doesn't mean that people shouldn't do the good things on social media or take advantage of opportunities that exist on social media. And I bet you that vast opportunities on social media. One just has to open up his mind, and do his or her due diligence. Hey,
absolutely.
Before we go, just imagine this. Some people say, no, I just want my peace. I don't want to be seen on social media and all that. Do you know? I want to ask people that are watching us, type your name on Google and see what it comes up with. There's hardly anyone, that is not out there. So how can you hide? You may not be on Facebook, like I wasn't on Facebook for a long time. You may not be on YouTube, but you may be on LinkedIn, or maybe your business group or whatever. So you type your name, Anastasia, you type your name and you just see something about yourself. So there's no hiding. In fact, like when I saw that, then I realized that, what? Enough of hiding and trying to say that I don't want to put myself out there. Because listen, if I'm doing a business offline, do I want people to know about the business? Or do I want to hide because I'm thinking that some people may know and take undue advantage of me? No. So likewise, if you are doing it online, you don't want to hide. You want people to know about it. And people knowing about it is expanding, your reach. And that's one thing that we have found as a great opportunity in our business, because we're able to reach people all around the world. It's a global business.
Yeah.
Before we say goodbye tonight, I'd like to say a big thank you to Irene for being with us here tonight. And I just want to give us an opportunity each, 30 seconds, say something to our viewers, starting from Natasha.
Me? I'm on the webinar tonight.
Oh, awesome. That's good.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe it. I mean, 3 years ago, I watched the same webinar, and not in my wildest dream did I imagine I was going to be on it 3 years later, and I'm so excited. I hope I don't start crying when I'm on there. Oh,
So
that's it. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Aranis?
Yeah, so this is your opportunity to shine. 2022 just started. So if your goal is bigger, then just go for it. Don't let that scrolling on social media will pass you by. Just take this an opportunity, because it's really great. This will change your life, and then you have a chance to change someone's life as well. So just go for it. Watch the webinar tonight, as Natasha is one of the panelists who will be sharing her success story to the world, and we are super excited for you guys to watch, and get to know the details or the pillars of this business, and how, or don't think about the what, but always think the how this business will improve your life. That's it.
Others?
You're on mute, Ferdus.
I just wanted to say, if you know your why, and if you want to work for it, then this is the right time. 2022 is for us and for everyone. So, and if you want, you can't hide from social media. So you need to use that. There's no other way to avoid social media. And if you want to leverage social media, this is the right business platform we are working on. If you want to know more information, we have a personal link on our down below. So if you can click it, more information, you can get in touch with us as well. And please watch the tonight webinar so you can see Natasha's verdict of her success.
All right. So before we go, I just want to say this to us. The social media has come to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Yep.
And I imagine that there's there's no business that is not on social media. From the smallest to the biggest, everybody is on the social media. And there has to be a reason for these businesses to be on social media, for their presence. If it's not working, you won't see Apple on social media. You won't see Google. You won't see, so many companies, even states, nations, they advertise on social media to drive whatever it is, the agenda that they have. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants people, to benefit from whatever it is that they have. So, running away from it is not the right thing to do. We are in that age now. Let me tell you one thing. We have seen how easily it was for people to work from home during the pandemic. And that's becoming more of the norm now, or even hybrid. So it's I think it's high time that people took the opportunity, to leverage the social media rather than run away from it. And it's the beginning of the year. We all have goals. We all have thoughts, things we want to achieve this year. Some of those thoughts for some of you out there is that you want to start an online business. It's your opportunity now. Opportunity may just remain like a dream forever if you don't take action. Now is the time. Take action. Register with any of these websites that you see, on the screen. and then watch the webinar. See for yourself if this is something that you want to do or not. And at this point in time, we'll say a big thank you once again to everyone that has been with us from the beginning to the end. And then we want to say that we'll see you same time next month. And until then, we love you and God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.